today we'll talk about how to increase average order volume and the lifetime value of a customer. We at Optum7, we have different types of customers. We have e-commerce businesses, and also we have businesses who sell services and who need to do lead generation. So a lot of business owners actually do not pay attention to this. Everybody's interested in doubling their traffic. Everybody's interested in increasing business. Everybody's interested in new acquisition of new customers. But people, most of the time, they ignore their existing customers, their existing databases, their existing email lists, their existing opt-in secondary calls to action. So what we wanted to cover today is how can you leverage that? Because doubling your traffic is not easy. Doubling your incoming is not easy. However, increasing your conversion rate is a lot more efficient, or increasing your processes is a lot more efficient. So today we'll talk about that. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to divide it into two sections, and that's e-commerce and lead generation or service-based businesses. So when it comes to e-commerce, because Ohad, you're working on this on a daily basis, a lot of business owners or e-commerce business owners are having difficulty doing these calculations. What would be your first suggestion on highlighting and identifying what your cost per acquisition is, CPA is, and what the lifetime value of a customer should be?
So, I mean, first of all, yes, it's very important to keep that in mind and calculate what the lifetime value is, especially when we're talking about the CPA, because the minute you can identify what is the lifetime value of your customer, you can then calculate what your target CPA should be, and perhaps you can invest more money in it, because then you can see it's very short-sighted to just think of that first acquisition. The minute you know that your client, a customer lifetime value is a certain value, you can calculate your CPA based on that and not based on the first acquisition.
Yep. And let's give an example to that. So, we all use iPhones and Androids. When I use an iPhone, Apple has a lot of data on me. If I use an iPhone, and if I'm used to using an iPhone, there's a high possibility that I'm going to keep upgrading, right? Now, I bought my first iPhone in 2007, and that iPhone was $550. Now, if Apple did calculations and marketing based on my first acquisition, they would have lost. They wouldn't have had accurate calculations, but I'm pretty sure somebody at Apple calculated, hey, if we do this, and if we give these users a very good operating system, and if we give them the App Store, this guy is not only going to spend $550 on the phone, he will spend
tens of thousands of dollars in his
lifetime. And also he will spend tens of thousands of dollars on the App Store, which I get 30% off as Apple, right? So this is the same mindset and mentality.
And he will get Apple Music, and he will get, so again, yes, you're right. The level of service and upselling and cross-selling those services.
So if Apple did its marketing strategy and growth strategy based on the first CPA, which is cost per acquisition, cost per lead, cost per order, whatever you want to call it, Apple would have lost to competitors, because that wouldn't have been an accurate strategy. So right now we have clients who do $5, $10, $15, $20 million annually, all the way to $100 million. And they have millions of customers internally, but they're not leveraging these strategies. So, and I think the most difficult part is, where do you start? And that first phase needs to be, you need to sit down, you need to look at your past 12 months, 24 months, and you need to calculate what your CPA is across different channels, because your CPA is cost per acquisition. Your cost per acquisition will be different. Your organic search might be, let's say, $5 per order, but your paid search on AdWords might be $20 per order. So if I'm selling this iPhone, the word cell phone or an unlocked cell phone is a very competitive term. And again, we're just using this as an example. If the product is $600, and if I'm paying $10 a click, if I get 100 clicks, I spend $500, right? So, and out of that, if I have a 1% conversion rate, that means that I spent $500 to sell a product of $600. So if I do my marketing strategy or my budgeting based on that concept, I'm always going to lose. I'm not going to advertise. However, if I buy this phone, I'm likely to spend tens of thousands of dollars for the rest of my relationship with this brand. And that also has to do with Apple's products, how good they are, how good their operating system is, how good their brand is, how often do they follow up with me, the functionalities, etc., etc. So the first thing is you have to somehow calculate your first order, which is cost per acquisition, and also the lifetime value of your customer. And there are some tools that do that, and there are some formulas that do that. It's not really difficult.